Hi everyone, I am Dr. Chitang. So today I will give you a quick overview about HTML. I think you have learned the lesson in the web design class. As we know, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's were created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in 1990s, and Sir Tim Berners-Lee is an English. The World Wide Web consortium W3C has played a significant role in HTML over the years, and the latest major version HTML5 introduced a new features and improvement to enhance the web development and user experience. HTML uses tags and elements to define the structure, content, and layout of a web page. The document consists of plain text that include markup specifying how elements should be displayed or structured when rendering by a web browser like Chrome or Edge. HTML document typically have HTML or HTML5 extension, and an HTML file can be created by using a simple text editor such as Notepad. So for doc type declaration, this is short for document type declaration. Is This is a crucial component at the beginning of an HTML document. Its primary purpose is to specifying to the web browser which version of HTML or sometimes HTML the document is written in. It helps the browser understand how to interpret and render the content within the document. So for example, here, in HTML5, the doc type declaration is simplified to like this, exclamation and doc type HTML. So this declaration placed at very beginning of the HTML document, maybe on the first line of the document, and it signals to the browser that the document conforms to the HTML standards. This thing will tell the web browser like Chrome, Edge, and Firefox what type is the shapecode, and we also have several versions about HTML like in here, like HTML4, HTML5, and maybe we have HTML1. Now we move to the HTML tags. Tag is very important for web. So HTML use tags to structure content on web pages. Tags are used to define different types of content from text to image and links. They are used to structure content and provide instructions to web browsers on how to display elements. Tags are closed in angle brackets. This is angle bracket here, and usually come in pairs, an opening tag and a closing tag, or we can call them in different names like start tag and end tag. We can see example like tag name, and we have end tag. This is a slash, we call them slash tag name. And the text between the start tag and the end tag is the element contents. For example, we have welcome to HTML like this. Now we move to the HTML document structure. An HTML document follow a specific structure to ensure proper rendering and interpretation by a web browsers. We must follow. This is a basic structure of HTML5. First, we have a doc type HTML. We talk about it in the previous slide. And we have HTML task. This is opening and this is the end closing task. HTML element is a root element that contains the entire HTML content, one entire document enclosed within the two tags, HTML and slash HTML, here and here. And it often contains two bars, head and body. Head inside the HTML element, head enclosed with head and slash head, like opening head and closing head. The head section contains meta information about the document rather than visible content. The body, the body section contains the visible content of the web page, such as text, image, link, and video or audio, maybe some PDF file. Now we have the very simple HTML page. So we have doc type HTML like this on the first slide. We have HTML here, and we have the head section, we have body section, we have the title of the web page, and we have the content of the web page. This thing. Tag attributes. Attribute in HTML provide additional information about an element and are defined within the opening task of an HTML element. They modify the element's behavior or appearance. So we have a system like this. Okay. Of course, attribute always come in name and value pairs like this. First, we have attribute name and attribute value. So attribute name specify what aspect of the element is being defined, and attribute value assigns a value to the attribute and close with the quotes like this. Some attributes don't require value and other need values. So we have example for the tag table. So we have a border. Border that means the attribute, and zero just means the value of attribute border. Okay. So for this thing, we define a table that have no borders. For the head section, we mentioned in the previous slide, this section does not show directly to viewers. It is just like declare some variable in webs. So first, we starting with doc type exclamation, then begins with head and end with closing hash. The title proposed in here, that means we set uh, the title display on the web browser, the title bar or tab, and we have a uh, meta tags in here provide metadata about an HTML document such as a character encoding, keyword description, and more. So the head section is essential for search engine optimization uh, or SEO, specifying character encoding, controlling the page's appearance, providing metadata and including external resources necessary for rendering and functionality. 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 The body section is a very important part that provide all information or content of one web page for viewers. The This section in HTML contains no no contains all the info, all the content just easy play on a web page. It encompasses text, image, link, form, and other elements visible to user when they visit a website. This section appears after the head section and beginning with the body and closing body. Here we have some key element. Maybe they can be included within the body section. So we have tag and heading, we have links and anchor, and we have division and section. So for headings, as we know, any paragraph has title or heading line. So heading in HTML represented by from S1 to S6 are used to structure content hierarchically by defining different levels of importance. So we have some overview how heading are used and their significance. First, we have S1. S1 just means representing the most important heading on a page, usually the main title. And we have S2 through S6. From S2 to S6 represent subheading and decreasing importance. They provide a way to organize content and visually indicate the hierarchical of information. In HTML, they also provide heading tags and attributes together, such as allies, yeah, align, left, right, center, and justify. You heading based on their semantic meaning, not just for visual styling. For instance, avoid using a larger heading just to make text bigger. Use the appropriate heading level to represent the actual importance of the content. Paragraphs and the break line. So paragraphs and live breaks how structure and format text content. So paragraph begin with P and slash P. So P tags are used to define paragraph of text. They create visual breaks between blocks of text, adding nature spacing. There are four attributes of Z tags. We have align, left, right, center, and justify. And we also have a paragraph break. This thing is used to skip a line and start a new paragraph on the second line below existing text. So in other words, line break task can create single line breaks within a block of text. They are useful for small breaks or for situations where a full paragraph break isn't needed. So this is an example of heading and paragraph you can see here. So here is a code in HTML and the right is a website for viewers or visitor. So we have the title of the website, we have the body, and we have heading 1. So we have heading 2, heading 3. We have the two paragraph like this, and we also have a division. So I will talk about division in the next slides. Now we move to the form. A form tags like Microsoft Word HTML also support many forms to have display words. For a form with size, color can be used in the tag form. Yeah. The font tags were commonly used in older versions of HTML to define the font size, color, and the face of text within a web space. However, it is important to note that the font tag have been uh, de- deprecated in HTML5, and its user is not recommended for modern web development. So we should use it as cas, uh, cascading style sheets is a preferred method for styling text and elements on the web on a web base. Uh, Now we move to the text for formatting. So going with font text format is also provided in HTML. We can set some paragraph in bold or italic or maybe underline. This table provide here task and font formatting for HTML. For text formatting in HTML can be achieved using various elements and CSS property. So here we have some commonly used methods for text formatting like this. HTML also provides some special character like this, like less than, greater than, maybe like money, yen, British pound, Europe, maybe like a quotation mark here. Okay, now we move to the image task. So images are very important in a web space. HTML also provides image tasks with several attributes. We can see in here we have a short alternative, height, width, and border. And the image task is used to embed an image in an HTML page. The image task in okay in HTML is used to insert image to inner web page. It's a self-closing task. That means we don't need to end closing task for image task. And requires a short attribute to specify the image fibers. So we have example like here. This is a source. Okay, a source. We have attribute source. That means the location and image. We have alternative, a subtitle text for display. We have high and wide and border. So for width and height, optionally says the width and height of the image in pixel. It's recommended to use the attribute to reserve space for the image even before it loads, preventing layout slips. Hyperlink task, ZA task, also known as the anchor tag, it is used in HTML to create hyperlinks. It allows user to navigate from one web page to another or to different sections of the same page. Here we have the how to struct and some is key attribute about the hyperlink task. So we have a hyperlink here like this and specify the URL or location where the link goes. And it can be absolute URL like this thing or the relative path. For target, specify where to open the linked document. For example, if target equal to blank, that means we open the links in a new browser tab. Now we move to the list. We have two different lists, order list and unordered list. Okay, now we discuss about order list first. Uh, the order list OL task in HTML is used to create ordered list where items are listed in a sequential order, typically using numbers Here is the structure and some key attribute. We can see here we have a tie. Tie specifies the type of numbering. It can be tie equal 1, so that means default number. And tie equal A, that means up K letter. Okay, here up K letter A B C. And tie is set a lower K letter, and tie here like this, and tie equal to I, up K Roman number like 1, 2, 3. Okay. And some important notes: our tasks are paired with LE. LE just means list item. List item tag to define each item within the list. So for order list, automatically number the item in the order they are written in HTML, starting from 1 by default. If we use the type is set to 1. And order lists are useful for presenting information in a structure and sequentially order manner, such as a step in a process rankings or any content that follow a specific order. We also have another list, UL tasks. Okay. The UL tag in HTML is used to create an order list where items are listed in no particular order, typically using bullet points. Here how is the structure and some key attribute. We have UL, we have a tie, and we have a LE like this. Okay. For geotag doesn't have many attributes that affect its appearance or behavior. However, it's important to pair it within list like this item to define each item within the list. So for all another list, UL are helpful to presenting collection of items where the order is not significant, such as list of features, bullet pointed explanations, or any content that doesn't require a specific sequence or purpose. Block and inline elements. So block and inline elements are very important when we want to arrange content of a website. So in HTML and CSS, elements are categorized as either block level or inline based on how they behave within a document's layout. Here a breakdown of block and inline element. First we have block elements. So the structure elements create block level structure typically starting on a new line and taking up the full wide available. And the deep just mean division. So here block element, this is very important when we want to add table or heading list. So we also have other block elements such as B, that means paragraph, header 1, header 2, header 6. We have a UL under unordered list and order list. Okay, so they can have wide, head, margin, padding, and border properties. So for inline elements, so inline element follow within the contents, allowing element to appear side by side, and they do not force to a new line before or after themselves. They cannot have wide, height, top or border margin or padding property, though they can have left and right margin and padding. So we use span to declare an inline element. Now we move to the HTML tables. So HTML tables are used to present data in rows and columns. They are consist of the table element along with the related elements to define the structure, rows, column, headers, and data within the table. So element with the table, we have the table like this, the contents of the entire table. The T head just mean table head contains the table header rows. The T body just mean uh, the table body, and the TR just means a table rows, and TH just mean we also have something different like this. TH defines the header cells within T head, render text in bold and created by default. And we have TD. TD just means the define standard data cell within the body. Uh, However, should not use table for layout. We should use it as follows to replace table in the web page for layout. Okay, now we are describing some tasks for HTML table. We have something like table. We have start and end tag for row. We have a cell like TD. This is a simple HTML table. Okay, we use in HTML. A form is an important component in any website or application. So HTML form are crucial part of website development. It allows user to input data that can be submitted to a server for processing. For example, a member regressions form for e-commercial website or e-learning school. A form can be considered a basic method to collect data for viewers or visitors. The form block construct as follows. We have form. Yeah, we have forms. This tag marks the beginning and end of the form. It contains input element and specify where the form data will be sent with action here, with action submit form like this. And the HTTP methods used for method post here. So an action attribute tell where the form data should be sent. HTML form can be customized extensively using CSS for styling and JavaScript for interactivity. They are very good tools for collecting user information and interacting with web servers. Now we have a form fields. One line text box. One line text input field in HTML is created using input tag. Yeah. With the type equal to text. Well, yeah. Okay. Text attribute. This type of input allow user to input a single line of text. So we have example like this thing. Okay, we have a name field. You input tag equal to text for name input identified by name. So we have a name equal to is set to username and value. This is a text field. And we have a password field. You input type password as the name is a password. Both fields have a required attribute to ensure they are filled out before submission. So this form when submitted, we send the enter name and password to the specific action URL using the port here, the port methods. The server-side code handling this form submission can then accept the input values using the positive names, name and password. We also have some different single line text input line, text password, color, date time, file, email, and hidden. Okay. We also can add many lines in the text area field. Text area, area. So a text area element in HTML is used to create multi-line text input field. It allows user to input larger amounts of text than a one-line text input field. So this tag consists of two attribute rows and columns like this. See example. Okay. So yeah. So text area created a text area input field. This ID attribute unique identify the text area, and the name attribute identifies it when the form is submitted. Row and column. The attribute defines the visible size of the text area. Row, for example, is set to 5. Specifies the number of visible text lines, and the column is set to 20 in here. Specifies the number of visible characters in each line. So in example, we can input multiple line of text into the message field. Upon submission of the form, the text enter into the text area will be sent to the server side code under the name message. Okay. Form input control in HTML allow user to input data or make selections. HTML also provides several controls such as a checkbox. A checkbox allow user to select one or more options from a list of choices. So we can select more than one option uh, from the group like keyboard, mouse, speaker, printer, and projector. So let's see an example. Input type, we have type is set to checkbox. This creates a checkbox input. Okay, and the name attribute identify it when the form is submitted, and the value attribute specifies the value to be sent when the checkbox is checked and the form is submitted. So we have a line mouse, speaker, printer, projector in here. Okay. Optional button, also known as radio button, allow user to select one option from a list of choice. That means we can only select one. Option button here also supported in HTML. We choose only one option among many options. For example, gender group, we choose only one male or female. So input type is set to radio. This creates a radio input, a radio button input, and the name of attribute groups the radio button together, so only one can be selected within the same group. Okay. And the value attribute specifies the value to be sent when the real button is selected and the form is submitted. Now we move to the button. A button, HTML have three type button: submit, reset, and the common button. Okay. Submit button. This create a button that when clicked uh, submits the form data to the server, and the type is set submit attribute. Make this button a form submission trigger. Reset button. This button, when clicked, resets the form field to the default values, and the type is set to reset here. Attributes as a button uh, as a form reset trigger, and the basic button. The basic button like this thing. This creates a basic button that doesn't have any specific behavior by default, and the type is set to button attribute specify that is a button without any special function. For combo box or drop down menu, a drop down menu also adds a combo box or select element in HTML. Provide a list of options where user can choose a single session from a set of predefined choices. By default, the first item is selected. So we have select here. Select element. Create a drop-down menu, and like this, we have the name of the select. This is a gender like this thing. For the options, option tag, they are the individual option within the drop-down menu, and each option tag represents one choice in the list. The value attribute defines the value sent to the server when the corresponding option is selected, and the text between the option tag like this, for example, male or female or other, invisible label for the option. Okay. For combo box, uh, okay. Uh, HTML allow to group similar item into one group by using optional group. We can see here. Okay, so we have a two group of car, Swedish car and the main car. So we have a Volvo and Seat, and we have the main car, Mercedes or Audi. Just make visitor have a flexible viewer. List box. So also known as select element, with the multiple attribute allows user to select multiple options from a list. So in other words, a list box similar to drop down menu but display a list of items in multiple like keyboard, mouse, speaker, and printer. So select tag, create a list box. The name product like this. Attribute specifies the name for the select option when the form is submitted, and the multiple attribute allow multiple section like this thing. There are some and there are two important attribute, size and multiple. Size is the number of multiple line for item. For example, we have the size is set to 4. Yeah, and uh, multiple just mean allow to select one or more than one item. And options, they are individual options within the list box similar to drop down menu. Each option tag represent one choice in the list, and the value attribute defines the value sent to the server when the corresponding option is selected, and the text between option tag here is a visible label for the option, for example, keyboard, mouse, speaker, printer, and projector. And this is a HTML example. The form example of HTML. We can see one line. We can see a text area like this. We can see a radio button, gender male or female. We can see this is one line. This is a list box. This is a combo box. Okay. Embedding a video in HTML can be done using a video element. Okay, so video tag is used to embed a video into a web page, and y and height. The two attributes define the dimension of video player. Controls when added this attribute display play back controls like play power volume for the video and source. So this tag specify the video file to be played and its format using the source attribute. Yeah. For the video file path and the type attribute for uh, the type of the video like MB4 or um, MBAC, and the text the browser does not support the video tags. Easy play if the browser doesn't support the video tag or the video format. For HTML audio, so similar to video, the audio tag in HTML is used to embed audio content in a web page. Audio this tag is used to embed audio into a web page, and control when added this audio zip playback control like play pause pause volume for the audio, and source. This tag also specifies the audio file to be played and its format using the source attribute. Yeah, it has a house. And for audio file path. And the text here, the browser doesn't support the audio element. So easy play if the browser doesn't support the audio tag or audio format. Element in HTML is a flexible tag used for embedding different type of external resources, such as image, video, audio, flash, animation, PDF. It allows you to include various content type within a website. We can use them with object elements, and this is a system of the object. Like we have data, like have we want to display a rebate file, and with the height, white, okay, like this. Okay, now we move to the canvas graphics. The HTML canvas element is used to draw graphics, animation, and interactive content on a web page using JavaScript. Canvas is only normal element, but the content canvas is a collection of objects which creates a graphic via JavaScript, and canvas is displayed in PNG formats. Canvas has several methods for drawing parts, boxes, circle, text, and adding images. Canva tasks create an area on a web page where you can draw graphic dynamically. It requires an ID attribute for referencing in JavaScript. So ID in here identifies the canvas element for JavaScript to interactive with, and Y and height specify the dimension of the canvas. So all drawing in canvas will be done with JavaScript. So drawing on an HTML canvas involves involve using JavaScript to create shapes like text and more. So and process of the drawing include three basic steps. Step one, we need to find the canvas element. Step two, we create a drawing object like this one. And step three, draw the canvas on layout. First, we have to coordinate for every canvas element. So for the canvas element is a two-dimensional grid like this one. Okay. In the HTML canvas element, the coordinate system begin at the top left corner here with the origin point 0 and 0 and the x coordinates increase as you move right and the y coordinate increases as you move down. So understanding the coordinate system is crucial for accurate drawing on the canvas. So here this is a 0 and 0 is the top left corner of the canvas. X axis increase to the right and y axis increase the downwards. Maybe this is the y and this is the height for the object. This is an example to draw a line in canvas. We can see here the first we have to define move to x y to start the point of the line, and the line 2 here means that the ending of the line. The first step we have to declare a variable c here is set to document dot get element by id my canvas, and then a variable ctx ctx get context, I mean 2d. 2d that means two dimension, and we have a ctx dot move to, that means the starting point 0 and 0, and the line 2 that means ending point here. It means x is 200 and this is 100, and cts stock since stock just mean uh, the straight line. Okay. We also can draw a rectangle. Here we use for draw a rectangle RCT S Y and height. This code spinet we draw a rectangle starting at a coordinate 20 and 20 and extending 150 pixel to the right and 100 pixel for downwards. And this rock method is converted to define a rectangle path. You will need to use strokes or fill method to actually render it with line or fill respectively. We can do line or maybe we can fill it like this. In this example, strokes is used to outline the rectangle with a blue, okay, with 1 pixel wide. And we also can draw a circle here, a circle like this, circle in HTML. Fine. And we also can draw text and make up the, the text. Okay. So we also have a few text. Okay. We also have a stock text. We also form a form like this. So one of the most impressive element in Canvas is a linear gradient. So we can see here the create linear gradient methods EU HTML5. Canvas context EU to create a linear gradient. So this gradient can then be applied to shapes or paths drawn on the canvas. Create line gradient as y as one s1 y1. This method creates a linear gradient object. The coordinate xy represents the starting point of the gradient as s1 and y1 represents the ending point. And we have to add color stop like this here. Position and the color. The method is used to define the color stop of the gradient, and The provision parameter specify where the color is placed in the gradient. Zero begin and start is one. Yeah. Okay. No. Zero begin the start and one just mean end. The color is the color value or color stop. And we also have a circular gradient like this thing. We can see here. This is the outside is a white and the inside is a red. For adding image, so Canvas allow to add image. See example like this thing. We load image and add it into Canvas. We use draw image a method in HTML5 Canvas context used to draw image onto the canvas. So we have a draw image. We have image x, y, and height. The method draw an image onto the canvas. The image parameter is an HTML image element or an image bitmap object. The x and y parameters specify the coordinate on the canvas where the top left. Yeah, the top left. Okay. A corner of the image will be placed, and the y and the height parameter define the size of the raw the raw image. Scalable vector graphic or SVG graphics. It's a markup language used to create vector-based graphic in HTML format. SVG graphics are scalable, making them ideal for various purposes like icon illustration and diagram. SVG here element. Zeta defines the start and end of the SVG document. The y and height attributes specify the dimension of the SVG canvas. So we also have a line and circle elements. Yeah. So this is a example of line and circle when drawing by SVG. So the line, the tag line here. Okay. Draws a line x1 and we have s1 and y1, s2 and y2. That means you represent starting point and represent ending point, and strokes set to the color of the line. This is, we have a red color. And circle is used to create a circle. Yeah. So ch and cy define the center coordinate, and the r set to the radius of uh, the circle. And we also can draw a rectangle, and SVG can be used to draw a big rectangle with a broken cell. So we have to rectangle like this thing. We have a S and Y. Okay. And attribute like x and y and height and view determine its position, size and view color. And moreover, we also can draw many different shape like polygon as clips like this thing.